politics returns to campus. It's not caucus season yet, but one potential presidential candidate was in Iowa City on Monday to talk about education and family values.
Plus, meet the family of an Iowa City police officer serving in Afghanistan.
And in sports, how a newcomer to the women's tennis team is making an impact in a place far from home.
All this plus a look at your local weather forecast is headed your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now. Thanks for tuning in to your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source from the Daily Iowan. I'm John Detcott.
And I'm Natalie Schlicht. Former Minnesota Governor Tim Pawlenty spoke at the IMU on behalf of an organization called the Family Leader. Pawlenty advocated the importance of strong family values and traditional marriages between a man and a woman. Pawlenty also described the Christian values that both he and the organization promotes. He also commented on the group's view of same-sex marriages.
The family leader organizations and other organizations have taken a position in favor of traditional marriage. And so I don't distance myself from that position. I embrace it. I support the notion that we as a society should continue to elevate traditional marriage, that should remain as between a man and a woman.
Pawlenty also talked about other issues, including government spending and increasing costs of four-year universities. And although there has been speculation that Pawlenty will run for president in 2012, he says nothing is official.
3 Iowa City police officers, David Nixon, Marcus Mitvalsky, and Ryan Schnackle, were deployed to Afghanistan in August with Iowa's National Guard unit. And while they struggle to endure the turmoil of war abroad, their families also have difficulty coping with their absences here at home. And Kathy Nixon knows that feeling of loneliness all too well. Her husband, Major David Nixon, was deployed to Iraq in 2004, and she said she tries to stay busy while he's away. She's made handbags out of his old uniforms and redecorated rooms to keep her mind at ease as her husband moves from one dangerous job to the next. And while she said that new technologies like Skype and Facebook make it easier to stay in touch, this deployment has been particularly difficult after her daughter Justine, a soldier in the U.S. Army, was deployed to Germany last month. But despite her worries, she says she's proud of the work her husband does.
I'm very proud of my husband and what he does. And as I said, he serves his communities and his country every day. And how much prouder could you be?
Officers Nixon and Mitvalsky work alongside one another in Afghanistan as part of the 133rd Infantry Division. All 3 officers are currently serving a 400-day tour and are expected to be back sometime this September.
A hospital employee who was fired after allegedly inappropriately accessing the medical records of 13 hospitalized football players is now suing the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. The unidentified woman says she was terminated without just cause and insists she did nothing wrong. The woman says a computer malfunction is to blame for the error and not her. In addition to her, 2 other employees were ultimately fired for the same reasons, and 2 others were suspended for 5 days.
Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley met with the Iowa City Area Chamber of Commerce today in Washington, D.C. to discuss a variety of issues, including federal regulations on small businesses and the proposed high-speed rail line. Grassley also talked about the possibility of increased federal funding for education, but said such an increase is unlikely and would have to be managed at the state level. He did, however, encourage local officials to seek funding from the federal government to support local commerce.
And there's still more to come on Daily Iowan TV. Several bars in the downtown area have closed after the 21 ordinance, but others are still going strong. We'll take a look at what some bars are doing to attract customers.
And in sports, a look at how the women's basketball team is living up to their preseason goals.
But first, Daily Iowan TV's Scott Jones joins us in the studio for a quick look at your local weather forecast. And Scott, tell us, when can we expect some warmer temperatures?
Thanks, John. It looks like we're going to be in for only a few more chilling days before we get any relief from winter weather. We've got a wind chill advisory for Monday night until noon on Tuesday, and those wind chills are expected to be about 20 degrees below zero. Tuesday morning will be sunny and freezing with temperatures slightly below zero. Daily highs will only reach 8 degrees in the afternoon, and the evening is not looking much better at all. We'll have continued clear skies, but it'll continue to be very windy all night. And now for the good news. We're only going to have to endure wind and cold for a few more days. This weekend is shaping up to be pretty great. You can see highs for Friday ending our cold snap, almost reaching 30, and highs on Sunday should reach nearly 40 degrees. That's your check of the Monday weather update. Let's send it over to Reed Chandler in the newsroom.
I'm with Metro reporter Emily Horner, and Emily, you have a story running tomorrow about rental property inspections. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, basically over the past few years, recently, inspections have become more frequent for rental properties and more expensive. And there's been, some problems with residents saying that they can't afford these, ups in the prices. And some are asking that if they maintain their property well, if they can get, inspections less frequently and, or at a lower rate.
Okay. How did this come about to the attention of the City Council?
There was a resident who came to the City Council meeting 2 weeks ago, and she basically voiced her concerns, asking the City Council to do something about this because she said that she takes very good care of her rental property. It's a duplex, and she has always taken good care and has a good reputation, among to the inspectors. And she basically just asked, for them to consider a change, which they are going to put probably in a work session and talk about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily. I'll read the full story in tomorrow's print edition of the Daily Iowan. Back to you guys at the desk.
The face of the downtown area has changed greatly in the past few months, but a local staple, the Summit, is still open for business despite rumors of its closing. Daily Iowan TV's Pat Riley has the story of how the business is still going strong.
Nearly everyone familiar with downtown Iowa City has noticed the recent closing or relocating of multiple bars. As rumors of the future of each bar swirl about Iowa City, one bar seems to get extra attention. The Summit Restaurant and Bar has had rumors of closing circulating the restaurant ever since the 21 ordinance. Yet Summit has recently announced it'll be hosting a weekly Saturday evening pregame event, ensuring locals and regulars they plan on remaining in business. One UI student took the time to talk about Summit and his excitement knowing closing the bar has yet to become an option.
As a senior at this university, I've been around 4 or 5 years, and I've seen Summit at its peak and I've seen it at its lowest, which is unfortunate because I'm a frequent visitor of Summit as well as some other establishments in town. But I think it's important for this bar in particular to thrive.
The first of the weekly Summit pregames was held last Saturday evening from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Summit Restaurant and Bar. Guests were encouraged to puff their hair and pump their fists all through the night as the first pregame of the year was Jersey Shore themed.
It would be really unfortunate for me to come back here in a few years and, not be able to come to places that I'm familiar with or that I'm comfortable with. And I just hope it stays around for the future.
While some Iowa City bars have already closed down, UI students can only hope that their favorite hangouts do not also follow in the same path. I'm Patrick Riley, DITV.
Summit will not be hosting their ultimate pregame this Saturday due to a previously scheduled event. The next pregame is scheduled for Saturday, February 19th.
And the Iowa House of Representatives passed a bill last week that would exempt the state from the federal health care legislation known as Obamacare. With the passing of this bill, Iowa joins a number of other states who are also challenging the federal law, several of which are questioning whether Obamacare is constitutional. Lawmakers in support of repealing Obamacare say health care regulations should be left to the states, and although the bill passed through the Iowa House, it is not expected to make it through the Senate.
And the nation's economy continues to improve. The stock market was up today following what analysts are calling Merger Monday. Several major corporations made moves today, including America Online's $315 million acquisition of the news blog The Huffington Post. Analysts say that such mergers are encouraging to investors who are more willing to buy stock if companies are confident enough to make such moves. Forecasters expect the economy to continue to improve in the coming months.
A new nation is born. Results are in from last month's election in Sudan, and citizens in the southern half of the African country voted overwhelmingly to break with the north and create a new southern Sudan. The entire process leading up to the election was remarkably peaceful in the country, where the north and the south fought a war for more than 2 decades before signing a peace agreement in 2005. The new nation will face many challenges in the upcoming months, and President Obama said he hopes to officially recognize the new country as an independent and sovereign state in July.
And now Daily Iowa TV Sports Director Chelsea Byrne is with us. And Chelsea, the cold weather didn't stop some spring teams from playing this weekend.
Nope, actually golf and tennis, which hold their main seasons in the spring, got to play this weekend, and tennis actually got to play right here in Iowa City. The Iowa women's tennis team opened up their weekend here in Iowa City. It was the first time the Hawkeyes had a chance to play in front of a home crowd. Daily Iowa TV's Giovanna Simic takes a closer look at freshman Jessica Cohen and the start of her college tennis career.
Jessica Cohen, the new French recruit for the women's tennis team, has been playing since the age of 7, and she's now a part of the Hawkeye team. The 20-year-old freshman has had international experience and has always been on the Hawkeye tennis radar.
You know, we'd been after Jessica all year, and I think she has the international experience, and she's got a great backhand and a lot of weapons in her game. It was just somebody we knew would be a great fit for our program.
Cohen has been ranked 341st by the International Tennis Federation and 1,005th in the world in singles and 677th in doubles. Coach Doherty believes she will be a great aspect to the team.
You know, I think that she's going to move up in our lineup and add more depth, and she's really coming into her own. She has a good record. I think she's 3-1 right now. She can play at a very, very high level.
This past weekend, Cohen won both of her matches in singles and doubles on Friday against Miami of Ohio, but lost on Sunday in doubles to Kansas State. For Daily Iowa TV Sports, I'm Giovanna Simic.
Cohen and the Hawkeyes won't have the chance to play at home again until early March, with competition taking them to Marquette, DePaul, and Missouri before that. And head coach Tracy Grisbaum in the Iowa field hockey program announced Monday that it has added 5 new members to their squad for next year. Corinne Allen, Brittany Evangelisti, Bryn Gitt, Danny Heman, and Sarah Watro all signed national letters of intent to join the Hawkeyes this coming fall. All 5 have been standouts at their respective schools, with 3 coming from the state of New Jersey, 1 from California, and 1 from Pennsylvania. Grisbaum said Monday that she is thrilled with the talent of the newcomers and feels they all complement each other very well. Grisbaum also said that each of the 5 signees have experience playing multiple positions and will be able to contribute to the program as soon as they set foot in Iowa City. And the Iowa men's golf team opened its spring season this past weekend in sunny Arizona with the Big 4 Match Play Challenge. After an outstanding fall season, the Hawks were looking to start strong, facing Drake University and Iowa State University over the weekend. Iowa took a 5-1 victory over Drake, with senior Vince India shooting a 4-under par 68 to lead the way. The Cyclones were a tougher matchup for Iowa, though, with the black and gold falling 5-2. Juniors Jed Dirksen and Brad George were the only 2 to take wins in the match, with Dirksen shooting 2 under par and George 1 under par. The Hawkeyes traveled to Palm Gardens Beach, Florida this coming weekend for the Big Ten Match Play Championships. And on Sunday, Bluder's Bunch lost only its 2nd home game of the season. It was a vital loss, and it extended their losing streak to 2 straight.
The Eyes of March arrived in February for the Iowa women's basketball team. After a home loss on Sunday against first-place Penn State, the Hawks' record dropped to 5-6 in conference play and dropped their overall record to 17-7. This record, along with the up-and-down play of the team, will ultimately leave Iowa out of the Big Ten regular season title picture. The team has 5 games left on the regular season schedule, and even though the preseason goal of winning the Big Ten regular season title can't come true, the team can still position themselves for a first-round bye in next month's Big Ten tournament. The schedule does lighten up, as 4 of the 5 remaining games are against teams currently behind Iowa in the standings. If the Hawks can finish out strong, they can make it easier on themselves when they try and achieve their next goal of winning the Big Ten tournament title. Brendan Ferguson, Daily Iowa TV Sports.
And the Hawks will try to get back on track Thursday evening when they take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Well, hopefully they can get a win on that one and get back on track.
Yep.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Thanks, Chelsea. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Tuesday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Read about the College of Graduate Students' protests on the Pentecrest.
Plus, learn more about how a United Nations watch group is asking the UI to uninvite a controversial speaker.
That's your Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in on Tuesday at the same time or check us out online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.